So, all right. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Disney with the Ducks. Today, you have me, again, Jodie B, and I am greeted here with two of my awesome friends, Allie and Rick. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Good. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I am super excited to talk to you both because you are brave and adventurous and courageous and have decided that you were going to take your baby to Disney. And not only have you done this once, you have done this twice now. So my kids are 14 and 18, so it's been a really long time since I've navigated Disney World with even a stroller. So super excited to hear about your trip and how it all went, and any tips and tricks that you may have to share with other people who may have littles, because like I said, that's not me anymore. So I have no tips and no tricks. So for those of you who are new to the show, Allie and Rick are friends of the show. They're also great teammates to run with. Rick has been stuck running 2 marathons with me now.
Yeah, two. You rescued me 2 years ago, and then I tagged along last year.
Yeah, so he's stuck with me. Allie was also technically with us because she was on the phone with Rick. So she gets the medal for listening to all of our woes the whole time, and also pointing out where all the upcoming water stops were. That was great. It was like our own private intel. So, so it's super happy that you both could join, and I appreciate it. So why don't we talk about your trip, the most recent trip?
Okay.
You guys were down there June 19th through the 23rd of 2025, just in case someone's listening to this in like 2052, you know what we're talking about, 2025. And what made you decide to go on this trip?
The 40% room discounts, and someone over here had a day and said, I just want to go to Disney World. So I started booking, and then I said, wait, am I supposed to support this or fight this? And then we kind of got the ball rolling. We already had our annual passes, so we figured, why not? I had Juneteenth off from work, so I figured one day. So kind of just made it happen.
Nice. I mean, those APs, it's hard. It's really easy to go sneaking back down there again because you're like,
yes.
But it's already
paid for.
Yeah. And that AP rate right now that's a deal. So I mean, hard.
And Oliver's free, so.
But still, you've got another.
Oh, we already planned it. If we take him September 1st before his 3rd birthday, he's still free while he's 3. So
there you go. Perfect. Love it. All right. So you mentioned Oliver. Oliver is your son, and he was born, I should know this, in
Labor Day.
I was going to say right around my birthday. So Labor Day. So he's not even 1 yet, coming up, but not yet. And
10 months next week.
This was not only his a trip to Walt Disney World for him, but this was his second trip to Walt Disney World. So when was the first time that you brought him there?
He was 6.5 months. It was the end of March.
Okay. And now again, you went again in the middle of June. So
3 months later. So we had about 6.5 and about 9.5.
Okay. So super excited to learn all the things that you've learned. So that trip in March, where did you stay then?
We stayed off property at my grandfather's house, which is traffic depending can be anywhere from 15 minutes away, like this past trip, or when we were down last trip, it was almost an hour each way with traffic on I-4 just being terrible. So we learned that we like staying on property with Oliver a lot better.
Yeah. Well, and with the baby, you can just pop right back into the resort and all that stuff. And
yeah, we planned with the heat on this one to stay on property because it's a hot car when you get into it, and then you sit in it for an hour and take an hour rest, and then it's a hot car again, and doesn't really accomplish anything. So
that's hard. But nice that you have that option when it's needed. So not a bad thing. All right. So this trip, So this was kind of, Rick, you were just throwing this out like, oh yeah, sure, we'll just go down there. And Allie's like, okay, let's go. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't joke with her. She's that person that will have the trip planned within 20 minutes.
I did.
well, I mean, you're smart is what you are. I mean, and again, it was such a good deal. It was like they were giving it to you. You had
Yeah,
to.
Yeah, we've already well, it's funny because when we went down in July when I was still pregnant and very pregnant, I would watch all the parents carrying kids. And I'm like, there's no way we're coming here in the summer. I am not carrying a child. And then here we were in June carrying a mini toaster through Disney.
But worth it. Worth all the pictures.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. So let's talk about how you guys got down there. I'm assuming that, and actually I know this, but I'm assuming that you flew because you live in Pennsylvania. That would have been, gosh, how long of a drive?
Too long. It's 14 hours.
I think it's 17 or 18 hours or
It's
something.
2 days.
Yeah, it's a 2-day drive, and I'm not a 2-day driver.
Yeah. Well, and with the baby, that's just not fun. Who's strapped in a car seat the entire time. So yeah, good plan. How did he do on the flight? Everything good?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, very good.
On the way there, he sleeps the back half. So he kind of, this time he was more mobile. So keeping him contained to his seat was a little trickier. But we had a great person sitting next to us who kind of played peekaboo and kind of just giggled at him. And then he slept in Rick's arms the whole second half. The flight back, we left at 7 a.m. So it was a 4 a.m. airport. And I think he slept up until takeoff and then kind of just wiggled around and kind of did what he wanted. A little bit more vocal until we landed.
Again, luckily had somebody across the aisle that was playing peekaboo with him.
Yeah, you never know. You're either going to get a really nice person next to you or you're going to get someone who despises children and thinks that they should be allowed on a plane. So you never know. We traveled a lot with our kids when they were little, and I'll never forget. We were either in Baltimore or Boston, a B city. I can't remember which one. And we were stuck on the tarmac. Like they wouldn't take off. And we were just sitting there, and it was definitely Landon. And he was just not having it, like just miserable baby, right? And like we're just stuck, and all these people are trying to be nice and like give me stuff, and I'm like, we just need to take off. Like I need to be up, like moving him, rocking him, or we just need to take off. And the second we took off, he was out. So I was like, it's just we're stuck on this stupid tarmac, and it's just I can't get up. They won't let you get up out of your seat. I'm like, oh, please just take off, plane. We'll be so much better. So.
Yeah, our first flight, we actually flew out of our local airport. So we literally had to walk through the parking lot and up the stairs to the plane. And then we flew into MCO. And then this one, we actually flew out of Lancaster. So you literally walk in, it's the desk, security, and one little terminal space. And the baggage claim was actually in the parking lot when we got there. And there was another walk onto the plane.
Yeah, they pulled the whole cart out and just kind of unloaded it onto the sidewalk right next to the entrance.
So definitely recommend the smaller airports, but then we did security at MCO, and I think both times this past time they actually had a family line for us. So anyone with strollers and small children, we actually were separate. And I think we were in 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was
super
pretty
quick
line.
Wow.
They kind of we had our own security, like the walkthrough things, and we were completely separate from the regular population. So it was really nice and less stressful trying to get like the car seat off the stroller and all the bags on and everything. So
that's really nice. That's smart of MCO for doing that. I mean, you would think like out of all the airports in the country, it kind of was one that has a lot of family.
I was worried. Even our first trip, like I'm rushing, so I'm like, oh my God, there's all these people. And the security attendant, he's like, Mom, slow down. It's okay. He goes, just bring this over here. Like, take your time. And I'm like, okay, like it's okay. But you feel like rushed. Yeah. But no, they were great. And we traveled with formula and water, no issues. They just told me, take it out, put it in these bins. They tested it at the end. They kind of helped me put everything back together and no problems.
That's great. Are you guys TSA pre-check or not?
No.
Okay. In the future,
we've talked about it
for 5 years.
For 5 years now.
Yeah. and also just as a general information for not only for you, but for any listeners, if you have any of the airline credit cards, a lot of time they refund you the money. If you go get TSA pre-check, they give you a balance back on your credit card for doing it. And your kids get to go free with you until they are 14. Do not make this mistake that the Binnings did, because so each parent gets to bring a child with them on their TSA pre-check. And then once they turn 14, they're not supposed to do that anymore. Well, Lindsay, we found this out on Lindsay's 16th birthday. So for 2 years, she had still been going TSA pre-check with us. Get to MCO. So we had flown down and she was TSA pre-check with me. And on the way back, they were like, no, she can't be in TSA pre-check. She's 16. And I was like, but, and they're like, it stopped at 14. Like, so for 2 years, we've been breaking this rule and no one knows.
2 years, you guys haven't been doing your job?
Someone could have told us 2 years ago. And they were like, no, she's got to go in the regular line. And I'm like, about ready to cry because the regular line is about 800 people deep. And anyway, right after that trip, I took my kids and both got them TSA pre-check. Do this ever again. So, but anyway, well, it sounds like they were super helpful, which is nice because traveling with a baby, you just have a lot of stuff. You have
like, more than when you go running for sure.
And this, and you have things you want to entertain them. And is he eating like Puffs or Cheerios or any of that stuff yet?
Yep. So we do Puffs. We decide down there that because we're kind of on purees, kind of on table food. The first time he was all purees, we're just like, he'll just do the bottle. We're not going to try and pack everything in anything, or we'll get it while we're down there. This last trip, he kind of just ate off our plates where he needed it. But the biggest thing is knowing that you can bring formula, breast milk, water bottles. I kept the bottles unsealed or sealed just to make it less complicated. Traveled with sealed formula, open formula, no issues. So that was kind of nice being able to like have that and not worry about it.
Yeah.
Something else I've also read online and then tested it multiple times now. We did a car seat bag and a stroller bag. I loaded our car seat bag with the car seat, diapers, extra little things, because that doesn't go against weight and it's a free check at the gate. So I kind of put some things in there just so that it didn't take up room in the suitcase. Like diapers are bulky, wipes are bulky, a little couple toys. I think the first trip it was a little colder. I put a blanket and stuff in there. So we kind of pack that within reason. My hip pouch went in that. And then the stroller bag was just a stroller just because we have to get in and out of it relatively quickly. But those are both free gate checks.
That is great to know. That's really good information. So I would have never thought about that. I mean, I guess we just took them to the gate with us. I mean, gosh, things you forget.
Yeah, I was recommended put it in bags just because they kind of toss things, so it kind of protects it. The bags will get scuffed. We did learn that multiple people have the same stroller bag, so someone tried to take our stroller, and I was like, check the tag. And the guy was like, oh, nope, this isn't ours because we had big like green tags on them. And I'm like, no. So make sure you check your bags, especially. But yeah, we just bring them down the gate, put them in front of the door.
Must be the Amazon special because everybody has the same ones.
Just like kind of everybody's bag is a little black roller bag. Like they all look the same. So yeah, it's hard to get
that was helpful. Yeah, and we did like an Uber, had our own car, so having the car seat with us and not having to worry about the reliability of like will Lyft or Uber or whoever's picking you up have a car seat. So it's bulky to travel with, but I felt more comfortable and it was a lot easier getting back and forth when needed, just having the car seat.
If you don't have a car or a car seat situation, I know that one of the transportation companies that a lot of people use is called Away We Go, and they provide whatever type of car seat you want, like forwards, backwards, booster with a back. You various like the choices are I don't want to say endless, but there's you tell them what type of car seat you want, and they provide it for you. So and they do transfers both ways, and if you want them. And one of the things I like about them is that the tip is already included, so you don't have to worry about like, oh, do you have cash or how are we going to memo that? So. But anyway, that's another helpful one. I know traveling with a baby, like going on an Uber, can be a little like, oh, are they going to have a car seat? Do I trust that car seat?
I know I've seen they have an option for a car seat, and we've never had to use it because we've always taken ours down. But I know they have a car seat option. At least Uber did when I was booking our trip to the airport or back to the airport. And usually when we're going from the airport to Disney, I get like there's a nicer option.
Yeah.
Costs like $5-10 more, but it's usually a nice, newer, like bigger SUV, and it's in good shape. And drivers have always been good for us. So
yeah, that's good. Okay. So you flew down, you got there on the 19th, which was a Thursday.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what did you do that first day? What did Oliver get to do that first day? I mean, it's really not about you anymore. It's about him.
No. Well, we were going to go to Typhoon Lagoon because we had the free water park pass, but it was storming.
Oh.
the whole time.
Not fun to go to Typhoon Lagoon then.
No, and it was thunder lightning, so it was probably
Yeah.
closed if I had to guess. So we checked into Destino Tower and kind of checked out the room. He kind of enjoyed his window view, and then we went down. Did we go right to the restaurant?
Stopped at the Barcelona Lounge and grabbed a Grand Gin Tonic.
Nice.
And then we walked over to Maya Grill.
That's right.
And checked in as they opened up.
I've never been to Maya Grill. How was it?
It was good. A little pricey for the
Yeah.
food, but it was good.
Yeah.
Everything I had, I got an appetizer because I wasn't all that hungry, and she got a full meal.
Yeah.
And we shared with Oliver.
I think it's hard with Mexican food because you probably have a lot of great restaurants by your house that are nice. Like it's probably
that's kind of.
I mean, I guess it's a lot of things in Disney, but it's I don't mind paying for some things there, like the fish at Topolino's. I'll pay my left arm. I'll give him my left arm for it. But
my chicken fajita was a little bit pricier than I probably would have paid anywhere else.
Yeah.
But we figured we didn't have to go anywhere. It was right there. We've never eaten there. They did have a guitarist playing songs, like Disney songs that were kind of like piped through. So we kind of were able to watch that. Something I've learned, we haven't done it. I was only the only restaurant we've done, but you typically can't bring strollers in to a lot of the restaurants. He is not big enough to sit in a high chair just quite yet. I'm pretty sure he'd launch himself out of one if he had the opportunity. So I just told him, I was like, he can't not sit. Can we bring the stroller in? And like they had specific, like one table I think had 2 strollers. They can only bring one in. They allowed us to bring his in, and they put us in a spot where we kind of just replaced a chair. So something to just kind of keep in mind if you're sit down people is not always. However, I've been told if you have a sleeping baby, they usually will let you bring a stroller in. But just something. So something a friend of mine who I traveled again with the similar age kind of said something to me, and then I do a lot of quick service. He gets to go and eat wherever because he's a foodie and I'm not. So we kind of separate here and there so we can do that. So California Grill, I think I carried him upstairs without a stroller. So things to kind of keep in mind.
Also, that restaurant is kind of tighter. Like they put the tables.
Yeah.
I think they try to fill it to the rim. So, all right. So first day, rainy, yucky, not fun. But at least you're in the tower and you don't.
We went to Springs, I think, that night.
Yeah, we went to Springs because she went to Gideon's.
Yeah, Oliver and I went to Gideon's.
Brilliant. Good choice. What was any good cookies that day? Any special flavors?
What did I get? I did the triple chocolate, which is my all-time fave, and a chocolate chip. And someone waited too long to ask for his order, so I got 2 cookies. He got none.
I was going to go get food at Wine Bar George, but my bartender wasn't working, so I went to Morimoto and got an appetizer there.
Walk-up window or the actual restaurant?
The actual restaurant. I went up to the bar inside for the first time.
Nice. Yeah, they've got that little quick service.
Yeah.
Morimoto, I've not tried that yet. Tim and I tried Morimoto a couple years ago and just had a server who just wasn't very nice. Like, and it unfortunately I think has put a damper. I think we need a redo. We need to try
every steakhouse in Disney for me.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Every time she comes with me, we have the worst servers.
That's so not fun.
Yeah, I actually got a refund for one of them. That was enough to get him and a friend steak because the experience was so terrible that the actual.
I think it was the VP of the STK emailed her.
He called me.
Or called her.
Oh, and STK is
so
a national brand. That's not just.
Yeah, I'm getting a call from Vegas and I'm like, what is this? And it was
You won a trip to Vegas.
So he's like, he apologized and he gave us basically what we paid for our meal. So I'm like, I'm not going. You can go spend this and get whatever you want. But I have not been back since. I don't think any steakhouse I've been back.
Yeah, I forget where else we went.
The one in Canada.
Oh, yeah, we went to Le Cellier. The one time it had a bad server while she was there.
When we had a male server, great. Female server in a steakhouse, terrible experience both times.
Isn't that weird?
Crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so back to the first night. So you then went to Disney Springs.
Yeah.
Cookies. You went to Morimoto Asia. Shop around at all or do anything or?
I think it was a short trip because it was kind of still a little
late,
wet out and getting a little later on the first night.
Yeah.
I think, we did that. We went back to the hotel, gave Oliver a bath.
Yes.
No, okay.
Gran Destino, the
Hold
shower.
on, she wants to know. Oh, go ahead.
That's what I was going to ask you. Gran Destino. Do they have, because,
Handheld, the little handheld and the rain shower.
okay. But
No
is there an
tub.
actual tub?
No.
Okay. That's what I thought. So that was one thing that I was trying to remember when we stayed there last, like, gosh, is there a tub at all? Or is there just the little shower thing? So
Standing shower.
yeah, that's got to
Yes.
be hard with a baby.
We kind of just sat in
tag teamed him.
closer.
Because
I'm
they're
standing in the shower.
slippery little things when they're, they're all,
they're holding him up.
yeah.
Yeah, so we kind of just tucked him in kind of because they have the wall. So like it couldn't, so we had the door open. So Rick had and we just kind of sprayed this way. And it was kind of just enough to get him super quick. Like, yeah. So we kind of, especially at being off the plane. So we kind of just did that, hose him down, dried him off, put blankets on or extra towels on the bed so we can kind of dry him off on the bed. And then he went to bed. I watched fireworks on the TV and ate my Gideon's cookie in peace.
I snuck off the Dahlia Lounge. I always get them confused. Topolino.
No,
Toledo.
Toledo, yes.
Yeah, I always get those two mixed up.
I know, everybody does. And they opened right around the same time.
Yes.
They're both TO, and they're both in the top floor of newer towers.
Yes.
Really, it's kind of like Connections and Creations, over in Epcot, and then Comicore, everything is a C over in Epcot. I'm like, why are you doing this? Somebody needs to look at you and be like, no, there are other letters in the alphabet. Let's name something different.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I think Dipti actually one time made that mistake. She thought she was making a reservation at Topolino and actually made it for Toledo. And but anyway, I like Toledo. I like it up there. It's different. You have to have kind of in mind. It's a lot of shareable tapa type things, but we've always had a really good meal there.
Yeah, that's probably. Well, I tried to get in there, but it was great at closing, and I wasn't going to be that person that went in at closing. So I just went to the Dahlia Lounge. But the food's always been good there. I was there 3 times, and every time had a good experience.
The lounge is pretty cool up there too, and the views up there are amazing. So
yeah.
Again, one of the things I like about the tower is that you're in the tower, so you have all those options just right there, and you don't have to get wet.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why we did this one, because we upgraded for the one night because Pop wasn't available for the full trip. So it was kind of like, let's take advantage of the resort. It had the restaurant, everything in there, so we really didn't have to go far.
Yeah, so we tried to stay around there. And I went up there to the lounge. I got the sliders were very good. I kind of wish it was like a full burger, but the 3 sliders were very good that they offered up at the lounge.
Yeah, I think we've just had drinks there. I don't know that I've eaten in the lounge, but I've eaten that.
It's changed. When it first opened, they used to have the tapas and stuff that Toledo had as well. Like they had the full menu of the tapas, and that's changed. So now the menu is very small, but the sliders sounded good. I was still a little hungry because I only got an appetizer at Morimoto.
Yeah.
The menu didn't really have anything for me because I'm not an adventurous eater. I had some dumplings while I was there. They were really good.
Still nice to be able to go upstairs and grab something, and and you can actually see fireworks from up there. They don't pipe the music in, but you can still see them. So
I think it was a little late for those when I was there.
Fireworks.
Until he got done with his bath.
Yeah.
I snuck off, but.
All right. So the next day, Friday, so you wake up and you're switching hotels. So you had a car. So did you just decide to do this by yourself, or did you let them?
Yeah. No, we just put everything in the car.
I think that's the smart move, especially since you have your own vehicle. I'm sure they do a wonderful job of transporting luggage from resort to resort.
We've done that service multiple times. We've never had an issue.
We just don't resort hop very much. I don't like packing and unpacking and moving all my stuff.
We do it very often, probably more often than the most, but especially if we're renting like DVC points just to kind of stay in different places. We've done that a handful of times.
Yeah, that's fun. That's a good way to see different things and see what you like, because you never know until you try it out. So, all right. So Friday morning, what did you do this day?
We drove to Blizzard Beach.
No. First, we explored Coronado.
Oh, that's right. We did, because Blizzard Beach didn't open until 10. So our lovely alarm clock is about a 7:30 wake up.
Is he, this big and has some lungs? Is that your alarm clock?
Yeah.
He doesn't really yell when he wakes up. He just
starts
bangs
babbling.
and babbling.
Just happy as can be, letting you know he's awake.
Yes.
We actually bought a pack and play on the first trip while we were down there for him to keep at my grandfather's house. So we picked that up for this trip. And but yeah, he likes to scratch on the side of the pack and play netting. He gets your attention that he's awake. He doesn't scream normally.
He's like, hello, I'm here. Come get me.
We went exploring. Allie learned a lesson about slides.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Oh, I think I saw this picture video. So tell me about this.
Well, I didn't see the sign that said it was for ages 5 to 14 or something.
Yeah, 4 to.
So first mistake, read signs. And I'm like, he's never been on a slide before. Like, I'm big. Like, who thinks? But the slide was wet, and I had you're kind of like meshy running shorts because we were going to the water park. So I guess I picked up some traction, and I got launched.
Save the baby.
Yeah, Oliver didn't move. He was very unfazed, but hurt a little bit. But yeah, so that was, we did a water slide, a mini one, but clearly didn't learn my lesson the first time. But yeah, that was the last playground slide that I've gone on.
Some of those playground slides, they're intense. They can.
It had just enough of a curve at the bottom of the slide to kind of throw your balance off and launch her.
Well, there's your next opportunity. You can become a acrobatic slide person. So, join the circus or something. Who knows?
That was enough for me.
Right down the street. So
I think she'll wait till he's big enough to go down by himself.
Or pre-test him out, I guess, was recommended.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm glad she picked the smaller of the two slides.
There's a bigger one.
Yeah, there's a bigger one. It's right next to the pool at Coronado.
Didn't that one have a tunnel though?
Yeah, that one was more of an fully enclosed tube going down. This one was open.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Okay, so Oliver had his first. Did he like it or
he didn't hate it?
He was kind of unfazed either way. Didn't really laugh. Didn't really cry.
He was just like
stone-faced with it.
Yeah.
But then we went to. That's when we went to Blizzard.
Crazy.
And then I think I sent you the picture. I was like, yeah, it's a lot better going through this parking lot with air conditioning and in a car.
Yeah. So you made it to the place that, for those of you who don't know, mile 18-ish,
17, 18 around there. I think 19, might have been 16 this year.
I don't know. Whatever. Mile something that you should not be running anymore is when you hit Blizzard Beach parking lot and you just loop it, and it's not fun and there's not a lot of entertainment and you're kind of over everything by then. And so those of us who are runners are always like, oh, Blizzard Beach, it's the death of us. And then you all decided to go visit Blizzard.
Yes.
I have never stepped foot in there other than
it was neat.
So did you like it?
Yes. So we found if you get there, we had really easy parking. So we got there right as they opened. The security checks are very different. They don't do like the bag checks. They had somebody kind of checking if you brought a cooler because you can't bring alcohol in. So like if you had big cooler showing, they kind of asked, but they didn't ask to see anything. And then the line to get in was a little long just because I think it was only like 2 or 3 lines to kind of get in. And then it kind of like opened up. But yeah, we kind of pre-watched videos because we weren't sure between, I think it's the bigger of the two from what I was kind of watching. And they did have like a little tyke zone. So we kind of just walked around and then, did I do the slide first?
Yeah, she did Summit Plummet first.
Oh, go big or go home.
Oh,
I joked about it. I didn't think she'd actually do it because she's not a roller coaster fan. And that's, I would say, pretty intense. I'm more, I think, afraid of that than any of the roller coasters.
No, give me a water slide and their height's no limit. Like,
really?
Yeah. Rock and roller coaster, hard no. But like that one, all day.
That is crazy. See,
yeah.
I was a lifeguard, so I have a healthy respect of water. And in particular, when it comes to water slides, like I just get like hyper worried. So I'm on Team Rick with this one. Give me a roller coaster with all the straps and all the.
Oh, no, I love that. I've done one of those like where you stand in the hole and the floor drops under you. Like those are neat.
Yep. Nope. That's a hard pass. I would get very nervous.
But it was a very hard hike up. I was like going up the stairs and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty high up
The
there.
view up there was gorgeous. I was telling him you could see Star Wars, Pandora, Everest. I think I could see part of Springs. And so it was really nice up there,
Yeah, you
like
said you could see
really
the
pretty
balloon.
view. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's worth the hike, I guess.
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
All right, so you go down the slide.
Yep.
You're on Oliver duty. So
Yep. He was napping, I think.
Yeah, Oliver was napping at that point until right until she was at the top of the slide, because I was watching her with I have a Samsung phone, so I can zoom in really far. And I was watching her on the slide. I got a video of her coming down from the top.
that's awesome.
But right as she was about to go down, he started crying, and I looked over and lost her. So of course the video's a little messed up, but
It just makes it more real.
Yeah.
then he woke up and we explored the park a little bit. She went in. I didn't take my bathing suit that trip, so I just kind of walked around with them. And she took him in it's called Tykes Peak, is the kids zone.
Yep. So it was a little, I'd say like a little mini, like open tide pool kind of thing where it was
A
like,
little zero entry.
yeah,
Doesn't get very deep.
I think
Has
like mid
fountains
shin.
and-
Oliver was able to sit and it was like up to his chest when he was sitting, but it was like frozen themed. So you had a little splash pad with baby Anna and Elsa. And then they had the little like snowman monsters in the other area with little fountains that we were kind of playing at. And then it was really neat because they have like the tube slides and like regular slides for the smaller, bigger kids. If they can't go on like the adult rides. And then they had kind of just an open like playground like slide that kind of went into like, when I landed, it was like waist deep when I was sitting. So I kind of like held him up on the little splash. Again, I don't think he was overly impressed, but it was fun. And then we walked over to the tide pool. And I kind of sat at the zero entry where the waves kind of crash, and he kind of just got the little wave crash and just splashed a little bit. He was a big fan of the water.
It's fun.
Yeah, it was nice that we could go somewhere that's mostly for adults, but they have a section for like the babies to like your middle, like elementary school
Yeah,
type age.
that's smart. Disney Cruise Line does the same thing. So the Disney Cruise Line has the pool. They have the adult pool and they have a kids pool, but then they have a splash zone for the littles too, which is you always see a ton of little kids splashing around in there. So nice and fun.
Yeah, it was like, and it's those little splash pools are just enough that if you want to have the baby or whatever sit to cool off, but then it has like little fountains to kind of play with. So it was nice.
How late did you stay at Blizzard Beach?
Probably noonish.
A little after. I think it was getting close to 1 o'clock till we left, because we planned on leaving at noon until she got on Summit Plummet, and we explored Blizzard Beach. We walked the whole resort.
Would you go back?
Oh, we got tattoos when we walked in. They had a little table outside the gift shop with little tattoos. So Oliver and I got matching tattoos.
Oh, baby's first tattoo.
His
Second.
second.
Oh, his second tattoo, of course. Second trip to Disney, second trip to or second tattoo, of course.
Yeah, of course. So that was fun. So his came off really early.
Yeah.
Mine was under my long sleeve, so I had it the whole week. But
That's super cute. So would you recommend going to a water park with a baby or not?
I thought if the weather, like that's the biggest thing. It's kind of watching. He was in a long sleeve. We have one of those water hats too, so like the back of his neck is covered. So I think that was the one thing we were watching. We were watching weather. We were watching the UV. He obviously had his mega fan, which we'll have to talk about because that was the highlight of the whole week. But I definitely think if you're mindful of all those things, like if it was 110 degrees, like we weren't going.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like if it works out, it works out. Even if we just walk through, that was kind of the original plan. Let's just walk through and see. And then we ended up having more for him than I thought it would. When I saw the little Tykes, I thought it was more for like that kindergarten age. So I didn't think he'd really be able to do that. But
yeah, being free. I mean, if your kid likes water, I would say it's worth it to walk around. I probably wouldn't spend money at this age to get in there.
Yeah.
But being included with the room, yeah, I'd say it was worth it.
And especially since you guys were at Coronado and that pool can
It's
get
literally across the street.
crowded.
Yeah.
I mean, really, really crowded because it is a great pool, but people now like rope drop that pool at that resort. I was just saying this the other day to someone, I forget who, I think Grace, I think that was the only mistake when they built the towers. They didn't put in another pool.
Yeah, the second pool.
another feature pool because they have all the little ones, but they needed, another feature pool. But anyway, they didn't ask me when they built it. All right. So you go back, you had your car, so you didn't have to wait for the bus. So you go back and now you've switched resorts, right?
So before we left, we actually asked if there was a baby care station because we've done that in all the other parks. And we're like, maybe we like having to walk past the first aid and we wanted to get him out of his wetsuit without having to like go to the bathroom and figure that part out. So we did find out there is a very, very tiny baby care station next to the first aid. One of the cast members showed us. It was more set up for feeding, I would say. It was like a rocking chair and kind of like a wooden table with a microwave, and basically big enough just for us, the stroller.
Yeah.
So we kind of just put extra towels down on the table and kind of changed him really quick. But it was nice having that option versus trying to find like their locker room or trying to do it on like the diaper changing table, which I did use at Blizzard Beach. It was fine.
Yeah, and then at least the two of you get to do, as opposed to like you with the baby and you do like, now you both are hands on.
Especially now that he wiggles.
Yeah, when they're they're wanting to move around.
Yeah, first trip I could change him in the stroller, no big deal. Now it's like, no, it's all hands on deck.
Yeah.
The companion bathrooms are pretty nice. If you go usually more towards the kiddie areas of any of the parks, the changing stations are usually pretty nice in those two the ones that we used anyway.
Yeah.
The second trip we did a lot more of the companion bathrooms. The first trip we used a lot of the baby care stations.
Got it. All right. So you changed him there, and then what did you guys do?
Our room wasn't ready yet, so we went to Magic Kingdom.
Yes.
It was a very short trip, but like my memory is he took me.
Yes, we went to Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
Sorry, I have notes next to me. That's my
is this when the fan appeared?
Oh no,
the
fan was there
the whole time.
Okay. Well, so let's tell everyone about the fan. Okay, so
our first trip,
most baby strollers have the tiny little cute clip-on fans. Okay.
Yeah. That's what we had our first trip, the little octopus legs, whatever. And it was a USB like rechargeable. Great. He seemed to do fine with it. So he tells me he wants to get this Milwaukee one. And I'm thinking, okay, it's just a heavier duty, like clip-on one. Well, I walk into the kitchen. I'm like, that's what we're taking. It is about the size of Oliver, probably weighed the same amount as Oliver.
Yeah, it was probably what, like 10,
I'm going to say.
Yeah. I mean, from the looks of it, it did not look tiny. So
it was an M12 Milwaukee fan, which is nice because all my work tools are M12. So I just took a bunch of batteries with me in my backpack.
Okay.
My personal item on a plane is usually just my tablet, and I'll maybe throw some running shoes or something like that in there.
Okay.
So I had plenty of extra room, so I packed his fan and I got my Mickey themed Brooks that I took down to break in for marathon weekend. So I wore those this trip. That was basically my personal item. But
so how many people stopped you guys and asked you about this fan?
Oh, there's a big talking point.
Yeah.
And there were some other dads there that had like the Ryobi, which is a little smaller, has a little bit smaller, not much smaller than mine, but bigger batteries. And there's a bunch of people with those there that we saw. I may have taken pictures of theirs and sent it to my friends to smack talk a little bit.
At one point, there were 3 dads in the baby care Animal Kingdom. The one had the Ryobi one. We had that one. Another dad, I think, was buying a second fan to put on their stroller. And I was just like, we walked down, I'm like, did you just flex on them? Like, do you feel better about yourself now?
Yeah, this reminds me of like 3 cars lined up at a red light, revving their engines. Like, who's got this car? That's
Yeah, they were talking about it, and I walked out with my like, oh, he's got a nice one too.
Oh, thank God John's not on this show. All right, so you had this massive fan for Oliver, and all the other dads were jealous over it.
Yes, I did catch a lot of the dads turning their neck as they'd walk by to look at the fans, give it a second look. So I felt pretty good about the trip.
Was it too much wind, or was it, did it like blow him? Was his hair blowing in the wind, or?
If it was on level 3, he got a nice little flow going, but.
We tried to keep it on 1 or 2, and it did a lot for him. Picking him up, like his front was cooled off a lot. Like his back would be hot and sweaty, but the front of him was, it definitely helped, I think.
Good.
keep him happy this trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were a little worried because when he gets hot, he gets really crabby. So we kind of had zero expectations for this trip. And I think just having the fan and just that constant breeze going, even when we were like inside sometimes just to kind of move the air, it made a big difference.
Hey, Oliver, I feel you. I get really cranky when it's hot too. So I feel you. I feel you, buddy. All right. So you went to Magic Kingdom after the water park, and then were you there for a while, or how long were you there?
I think we did a loop because then we went over to the Contemporary for dinner.
I think I snuck off when we first got there. I went to the Poly Tower bar restaurant. I forget what it's called. Waialulu or something like that.
Layla, Waialulu, something. I forget
something along those lines. They have the best old fashioned on property.
Oh,
it's a banana old fashioned. It sounds different, but it's very good.
Yeah, I don't know. I like bananas and I like bourbon, but I'm not sure that I want them to mix.
It's different, but it's very good.
Okay.
And I've heard it from multiple people. It's not just my opinion.
Okay. Okay.
Oliver and we did, I think, Small World. Pirate. That might have been a different day, but we did Small World, Winnie the Pooh. No, that was the day we got rained on. They all blend together. We did Magic twice.
Yeah.
We might have just walked around. Sometimes he just likes to look around. Now that he's more aware, we kind of just walk around. It's built-in naps. So if he's sleeping, we kind of just walk around and.
Well, there is so much to see and hear and smell, and I mean, it is a lot. So.
Yeah.
Then you went. Where did you guys go for dinner that night?
So I did dine out at Steakhouse 71. Was not impressed.
Oh, okay. What did you get?
I got like a grilled chicken with mashed potatoes and green beans. Green beans were really waxy. Mashed potatoes were good, and the chicken was just
Not good.
I went up to California Grill.
Oh,
yeah. So big spender there, as we're just saying. That's where you like.
Yeah, I eat off the children's menu, and he gets the steak meals. It's a perfect pair.
So I went up to California Grill. It was good. The service was not as great. I usually get there's two bartenders up there that have been there for literally since they opened. And they're usually really good. I had a new one this time, and I was off to the edge of the bar, so I didn't get the greatest service. But the food was fantastic. I got a filet that was very good.
We had a server there, not a bartender, a server there named Walter, believe it or not. His name is Walter. We had him multiple times. We loved him, but it seems like he doesn't work the nights that we're there, or that, race weekends. Like you can't eat that, on a Friday night before a half marathon or something. So it seems like his schedule and our schedule is not matched up lately, but anyway.
Yeah, and we watched fireworks from that rooftop behind the shops at the Contemporary.
Nice.
Oliver was not impressed. He was just like, all right, Mom.
Big things exploding in the sky. This is boring. So I'm going to be done with it. All right. So went back to, your new resort after this. You had moved resorts. So where did you guys go?
So we went to Pop Century.
And how did that work with the baby?
It was fine. 4th floor. I'm not a fan of elevators, but when you have a stroller, it's your only option. So we were on the 4th floor. It was nice. I ended up ordering a crib because we had to return the pack and play the night before. So I wasn't sure how readily available they were. So I kind of went and booked it. I think before I went to Magic, we actually checked into Pop, now that I remember all this.
Yeah, we checked into Pop, but our room wasn't ready. So then we went to Magic.
Yeah. Sorry.
And as soon as we got the Magic, our room was ready.
Of course.
But so I had asked the front desk, how do I order a packet, order a crib? And he just said, once you have your room, order right on your Alexa. So I just was able on the Alexa. It has, I think it was under the bedding option. I had to click around a little bit, and then it had the option for a crib. And it's one of those little metal rail ones. So wasn't the biggest fan because somebody liked to stick his arms and legs through, and I thought he actually got stuck at one point. And we're at the toppling over, so the pack and play is at least a soft mesh instead of the metal bar. But we brought our own crib sheets. That was recommended to me, to bring your own crib sheets, but it did come with a blanket and a crib sheet and a decent size. He fit very comfortably in it, so I think you can probably put a lot of smaller size children in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hindsight, because we didn't need it till the last night, we probably shouldn't have waited to order. So instead we had 2 cribs, kind of taking up a lot of, the room got a lot smaller than you would expect it to be.
Well, babies have lots of stuff.
Yeah. But they did offer that. And I did, yes, please. Before our first trip, I wasn't sure if I was still going to be using breast milk or not. So I did inquire about a fridge. We didn't need one, but they did say they would provide with a fridge. And if they didn't have one, they would provide you a space to put it. So you're not worrying about just the cooling fridge. It was actually an actual fridge. So if anybody has anyone a little bit smaller or still with that, they do offer that as well.
That's good. I figured they had to do something with that because, I mean, with medicine and milk and everything, you've got to have that has to be a certain temperature. So.
Yep. So they said if they didn't have one specifically for the room, they would have a location that it could go in an actual fridge.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember those days traveling and figuring all that out. Yeah.
And our cooler was actually broken or frozen over when we got there. So we got a new cooler when we first got there.
Good. That's great.
I mean, the only thing we put in there was a case of water and her Gideon's cookies. So it wasn't a big deal. But
you got to keep those Gideon's cookies cool.
Yes.
So, yeah. All right. So what other like tips or tricks did you guys learn maybe from the first trip to this trip or whatever that you could share with other people with babies?
So the parks are not as stroller friendly. You have to carry the child almost everywhere. If you plan to go into any little location. So our first time at Epcot, I thought, we could just kind of push through. No, you got to carry them everywhere and park somewhere. So if you have I use a hip pouch to kind of sit him on and take some of the weight off because he did not do well in the carriers. We saw a lot of kids in carriers. So kind of knowing what your child will do because he's 21 pounds this trip. It's a lot of weight on your arms and it gets tiring. Yes. So having something to kind of help do that.
Those hip things are a lifesaver.
Yeah.
Also,
when I had my children, or
a lot of people are like, "Wow, we need to get one."
Everybody's asking, "Where were those when I had my kids?"
Yeah, and a lot of things I say about that, like the nursing rooms and the airports. I'm like, oh,
yes. The easy fold strollers, you want something that's one-handable that you can be able to get in and out of.
We always rented those as opposed to bringing our own, and those were great. They were the Bob strollers that you could just pop up and down, and they were the hardest thing was all the other junk that we had in the stroller, making sure you took all of that out of there before you.
So I actually just watched the video. They recommend having a smaller recyclable bag or something that you just keep empty. So when you're getting ready to unload, you just put all your stuff into that bag so that you have a condensed space, and then you can throw it all back in the stroller.
That's really smart. Really smart. It's when you go to races and you fold up and take a little bag and put it in your pouch, and then after the race when they give you've got something to put it all. Really smart. That's smart.
With your Powerade, your water, your 8 medals.
And then I want to talk about the baby care stations because I was very judgmental and we judged all of them and we scored them. So Animal Kingdom has the best one.
Okay, so Animal Kingdom gets
then Epcot.
All right.
And then Magic and Hollywood are tied at the bottom.
You would think Magic Kingdom would be the best.
The theming is the best in Magic Kingdom, but it's tiny.
You can't bring your stroller in. And it's very tiny. And
is
then Hollywood
Casey's Corner, and is that where it is?
Most of them are by the first aid. The Hollywood Studios one was the hardest to find because it's actually you have to go in their customer service door, and then there's a little door to the left. So where everyone's kind of waiting to talk to a customer service type, it's you kind of bypass the line and tuck in. So that was harder to find, but it's right where the parade would come out when you first walk into the left. That one, it's just a small room, literally one room to nurse, one room to kind of change a diaper and then get out. It's not really a hangout space. Magic was kind of the same way. They had a small TV lounge where you probably fit 1 or 2 kids. It wasn't very open and friendly, but I didn't like that I couldn't bring the stroller in because we kind of kept everything in the stroller and then kind of maneuvered that way. Epcot had the really nice big beds that you can put them in, and all of the beds have a paper. So you can it's changeable. So you don't have to worry about getting out a special pad or anything. They kept it very clean. They had a water fill station. So we filled the bottle there a couple of times, our cups of water a couple of times, sink to wash your hands, bathrooms for adults. They also had a sink to clean bottles if you wanted. And then that one had more of like your cafeteria-like tables. So we kind of sat and fed there, and they had a small room with a TV, but it was smaller. And then all of them have a place where you can buy like wipes, fans, like little things. Diapers. And then Animal Kingdom had a nice big lounge with small kids tables, benches on the sides with a movie playing. So I was able to sit in a nice comfy chair, feed him while I watched Cars the one time. I forget what was playing the second time. Toy Story. And then it has smaller changing tables, but multiple of those nursing rooms. I believe they also had a single bathroom, and then the same thing, like a sink and all of that kind of stuff. So that was just nice because I think Rick went to go get food, and I took him. I'm like, we'll feed him, we'll cool off, because you don't feel rushed because it's a big room. I think they gave the smaller children crayons and like coloring paper the last time we were there. And they're pretty positioned really nice. So I think when we did Epcot, we hit it a couple times because you kind of hit it on your way out, your way in. I did learn that if you stay for fireworks and you want to change them after, it closes at 9. I was kind of hoping that the Epcot one would still be open after fireworks, but it was a hard close at 9.
Got it.
A cast member, we walked over and we're like, nope, it's closed. So then I just had to go find like a regular bathroom, which was fine. The companion bathrooms are really convenient. They have the drop down one. So that's really helpful, especially there's a couple times like I had to use the bathroom and I had all of them, just me. So like I would use handicap stalls, but I always felt bad taking like a handicap space. So those are really nice if you need to use the bathroom, but you have a small one, but you don't want to have to worry about like open spaces. But overall, like it was relatively easy traveling. You kind of have to have no plans. So we were very picky about the first trip. I don't think we did any. We did maybe like one ride. I think we did Pirates. I think that was it because the ride was the line was shorter. But we just did a lot of walking around. And if he slept in the stroller, like we just walked around until he woke up, and we kind of just based it off of what he wanted. And then this last trip again, like the lines had to be relatively short because it's hard to keep them entertained for longer periods. And then some of the rides were actually long for him that he would get to the end of the ride and kind of be like over it. And I'm like, we're almost done. Like, hang on. But it's definitely fun watching him. Like we were on Pirates and he's like looking at one side and the pirates are fighting and he's looking at the other side and kind of like going back and forth and getting those little drops in early.
Observative.
Yeah. Well, there's lots to look at. And
fireworks he wasn't really a big fan of. He slept through his first parade. So we didn't really wait for it the second time around.
This is boring.
Yeah.
I saw Flynn at that parade though.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. You're rubbing it in.
But yeah, I would say the biggest thing is to go in with like zero expectations, like no plans. You kind of have to just go off of if he was crabby, we kind of left a little early, or we stayed in air condition a little bit more. If he was into something, we did it. But it was kind of a very like low key, kind of just like take the day as it comes type of deal.
What about security getting into the parks? And all that stuff where they now I feel like they find one tiny little thing in your backpack and you're like, what in the world could it be?
It's so hit or miss.
Every park is different. So first couple of days I had the formula in the diaper bag, no issues. One day I went to Hollywood Studios and Epcot and it got flagged twice. So then I just started taking it out. I even said to the guy, I said, I've been in 3 other parks today and never had an issue. And he's like, depending on the sensitivity, I think it depends on the height of day and how busy the park is. But one person can stay with the stroller. One person has to go online with all the bags. So anything that was under the stroller, we kind of had to carry through. So they'll do like a quick sweep of like, if you had your water bottle in there, like they'll check the small zipper pockets. Then you'll kind of cut the line, go through, and they're like, okay, so take them or take the baby. And then whoever had the diaper bag kind of went through. And then I've got flagged twice, I think, out of the whole trip. And then they kind of just take everything out. We use glass bottles. I think our first trip, one person said something to me about it. And I was like, well, that's all we have. And like, they don't shatter. And they let us go through with them. Second trip, we had no issues. Somebody in front of me actually had to get rid of a glass bottle because he brought hot sauce with him. So I was like, oh, great. If I get this guy, he's going to flag my bottles. And I'm like, we're just going to leave at that point. But
Hold on. Hot sauce is an option. That's a condiment, right?
Oh, he told the guy to get rid of the water in the small bottle, pour his hot sauce in there, so no hot sauce was wasted.
Okay. A bottle for your baby is like their meal. It's their nutrients.
Which I think is why they're kind of like, and they're a very hard like glass. but I guess glass is technically not allowed into the park. So I was just like, oh, I didn't even think about that, but we like that from like a reheating standpoint, all that kind of stuff. So
if I remember correctly, yeah, somebody said something and they got like a higher up that was like, no, it's for the baby, like understanding the situation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, and plus when you have visitors coming from other countries, they probably have different products and different brand, they're anyway, I can't imagine them being like, no, you're not allowed to bring a bottle in here. Sorry, kids, you're gonna starve all day. Like, no, that's not gonna work. So
but yeah, no, for the most part, I think
we would usually, one person would grab all the bags and walk through the regular line, one would go with the stroller with the baby, and it went pretty smoothly. No real issues this trip.
Anything that you do different that you're like, oh, we should have done that as opposed to.
I think we got a little better with organizing the stroller for emptying it to get on the bus and stuff like that. Did you have your backpack? I know we had the diaper bag.
Yeah. So we have like a diaper bag, but it's like a backpack. We learned from the first trip to the second trip that like the middle breaks were definitely necessary. It took him almost a week to reacclimate when we came home. This time he slept like when we came home that first day, and then he was back to normal, and we took those built-in breaks where we didn't want to drive an hour. So like we just stayed all day. So his first trip were like 14-hour days in the park with built-in stroller naps. But I think just not having those like kind of downtimes affected him on the back half, where you would never know that he went away this week. It was kind of taking those breaks. We used a little splash pad at the pool one of the afternoons just to kind of break it up a little bit. So I think taking those natural breaks and just being like, even if we go back for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, just to kind of like let him take an actual nap, let us actually lay down and take a little break definitely was helpful.
There's also, like we were talking about, there's a lot of noises and sounds and stimulation in the parks. And sometimes you just need a break. I need a break from it. I'm like, I need a little timeout. Like I just need some quiet. So I get it.
So those were like nice. And then we could kind of like restock the diaper bags. So you don't have to bring as much in the day. I'm like, okay, I only need to bring 3 bottles because we're not going to be here until midnight. And we didn't stay for fireworks. Like I think our first trip, we used the resorts to watch fireworks just to not have like that crowd at the end of the night. This one, it was about to rain. So we kind of just pulled an audible and like, we're just going to head home. It ended up storming. So it might've been delayed, might not have, but he's not really into them. So it's kind of like, we love the fireworks, but it's kind of just like pick and choose. So we just put him on the TV and kind of laid in bed and got to watch them. So again, you kind of have to like pick your battles on like, is it really worth it? And then fighting the buses and all that kind of stuff back. And
all right, Oliver, when's your next trip?
January.
Are you going to be? We'll see. Oh, look at him smiling. He's like, I don't know, Mom. You tell me. Are you going to cheer everybody on in January?
Yep. So my sister is coming with us so he can make it to the finish lines. I told her to start practicing running and bending down to pick up because he'll be fully mobile come January.
Yep. You'll be all over the place. You may not even let me hold you then in January. You may be like, nope, I'm under. So yeah, tell me all about it. I hear it. Well, you are a lucky little boy, Oliver, and already 2 Disney trips.
I mean, I'm trying to talk her into going down to cheer you guys on at Wine and Dine. We have some other friends that are going as well, but we'll see.
See all the same stuff.
It's more of work schedules and saving PTO and.
Oh, I know. I mean, come on. We just all need a moment, right?
Yeah. But I was gonna say the short trip, like the Thursday, because we left first thing Monday morning, so basically Thursday to Sunday, I think was actually a lot nicer than doing like a full week because it was like just enough to kind of hit a little bit of everything and get away. But it was like not overly long where it was like, okay, now he's getting really tired, overstimulated. So it was like that nice little.
Yeah.
It was long enough.
Yeah. Well, I think that he's going to be a Disney expert. Just wait and see. I mean, he's going to know all the tips and all the tricks because he's grown up with it. So
that he's going to be spoiled and he's just going to think that's a norm. And
it's funny when your kids realize that other kids haven't done this, and then they're like, "Oh, you haven't been to Disney 25 times? Like no, that's not normal, child.
Right.
That was me as a kid.
Okay.
Well, I can't wait to see you guys in January. I can't wait to meet him in person. And right, Oliver, we're gonna have some fun together. I'm a baby stealer.
Say that's welcome.
Yeah.
Can you say hi? Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for all your tips and information. I think it's really helpful. Again, this is not my area of expertise anymore. So I would be able to offer one piece of advice, which would be like, pack diapers. I don't know. Like, so
Yes.
I think you offered some good tips and tricks and things that you learned. And I'm sure every trip is going to be a little bit different as it gets bigger.
Yes.
Now, so thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it. And if anybody has any questions about traveling with baby, when this episode gets posted, Allie and Rick are both in our group, but I'm sure they'd be happy because it's going to be them who are going to know the answers, not this. All right. Anything else you want to add, or we've wrapped up?
I think if you're questioning if you should take them because it honestly, like, it's hard home, so you might as well do it somewhere fun.
Yeah. And make the memories and take the pictures.
Yes.
Florida was actually cooler than Pennsylvania this trip, apparently. So
yeah, I was just in Arizona, and Arizona was cooler than Ohio. So this whole country is all crazy right now with temperatures. Who knows? So,
But yeah, it's definitely worth taking the littles.
I know. And
It's a different experience. Characters, everything, it's just different.
They're not going to remember what you are. Yeah. All right. Go get some food, Oliver. Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
over there.
Bye.
Are you still there?
I'm still here. Did he?
Oh, okay.
He minimized you.
I thought he hit the end button.
Minimize me. Do you not like me, Oliver?
Like, oh no, he hit leave studio.